thinking of doctors filled me with a sense of awe unequaled by anything. And then there was Dr. King. As the mood in my home changed from one of mere hatred to one of potential double homicide, my parents sought help from a psychiatrist. Dr. Finch looked exactly like Santa Claus. He had a shock of thick white hair, a full white beard, and eyebrows that resembled toothbrush bristles. And as time went on, my parents' relationship became worse, not better. My father grew more hostile and remote, taking a particular liking to metallic objects with serrated edges. And my mother began to go crazy. Not crazy in a let's make the kitchen bright red sort of way, but a gas oven, toothpaste sandwich, I am God sort of way. Gone were the once a week therapy. My mother began seeing Dr. Finch every day. The life of Augusten Borroughs is plagued by a tumultuous background that doesn't seem to get any better. We often look at our own lives and don't realize how fortunate we really are. In contrast, Augusten is now in peril because everyone around him is running with scissors. By Augusten Borroughs. As we made a left turn onto Perry Street, my excitement peaked. Look at that house, I said. I bet it's just like that one. I bet it's even nicer. My mother was having an emergency session with Dr. Finch, a session at his home. Now I would finally get to see a doctor's house. It's just down here, my mother said. The street was lined with immaculate homes. And then up on the right, I saw one house that did not belong. From a distance, it looked abandoned. That's not it, is it? Augustine, that's Dr. Finch's house. My mother walked across the dirt to the front porch and I followed. She rang the doorbell, which generated a strange and very loud electric buzz. A moment later, the door opened and a hunchback appeared. It was a lady hunchback with kinky, grayish, almost purple hair. Hello, Deirdre, the hunchback said. Do come in. The lady reminded me of Edith Bunker from All in the Family, except with really bad posture. Oh, hello, the hunchback said to me. You must be Augusten. I'm Agnes, Dr. Finch's wife. You two make yourself at home and I'll go get the doctor. The house smelled like wet dog. And something else. Fried eggs. And the place was such a mess, I'd never seen such squalor. That people lived here was shocking enough. That a doctor lived here was simply unthinkable. A moment later, two ratty girls came running down the hallway side by side. They were Vicky and Natalie. I'd met them before at the doctor's office. Natalie was okay, but Vicky was weird. She didn't even live at home. Natalie told me she lived with a bunch of hippies. Hi, Augusten, Natalie said sweetly. You're all dressed up, Vicky smirked. Going to church? I hated her already. Come on, she said. We're supposed to keep you occupied. And with that, they led me away. We were young, we were bored, and the old electroshock therapy machine was just under the stairs. Come on, you guys, it'll be fun, Vicky said. It was hopeless to protest. I got up off the sofa and followed Vicky and Natalie into the hallway. Whoa, look at this mofo thing, Vicky said as she dragged the box out from under the stairs. Now what? Natalie asked. We gotta set it up. So, Augusten, you're the patient, and Natalie, you're the nurse. I'm not gonna be some ass-kissing nurse. Well, you sure as hell are not gonna be the doctor. I'll be the nurse, I said, just wanting to get it over with. I don't care. Let's just start. Natalie dove onto the sofa stomach first, then turned on her back. What's wrong with me then? You're psychotic. Okay, I can be psychotic. I'm a paranoid schizophrenic, just like Dottie Schmidt. Vicky made a face. Oh, God, she's disgusting. Did you know that she's so filthy that Agnes had to peel the bra off of her? Who's Dottie? She's one of Dad's crazy patients. You'll meet her. I will, I thought? Why? This is when Pooh Bear ran into the room naked and shrieking. Pooh was about 6 years old. Pooh Bear, what's doing, Poohin? He slapped his arm against his side. I'm a can opener. he said. You're a can opener? That is so cute. What's that? He said, pointing to the machine. That's Dad's old shock therapy machine. Wanna play? He smiled shyly. I don't know. You watch us first and then you can play, okay? Vicky picked up a wire and arranged it around Natalie's head. Then she pretended to plug the machine in. Next, she placed her hand on the dial and turned it. I'm now giving you 1 million volts. Natalie convulsed, her whole body trembling. That's good, that's good. Nurse, increase the voltage. Okay, it's all the way up. Natalie shook violently and screamed even louder. Hubert burst into tears and ran from the room. We better get him, Vicky said. They ran out of the room chasing after Pooh, and then I ran after them. Hubert was squatting beneath the grand piano in the living room. His eyes were squeezed closed. He was crapping. I froze. Hubert pinched a turd on the bright blue wall-to-wall carpeting, and Vicky and Natalie clapped. He opened his eyes, looked at me, and said, "Pooh can poo." I backed out of the room and walked down the hallway. My mother was sitting at the kitchen table, which was piled high with dirty dishes caked with food. Mom, how much longer are we going to stay? I want to go home. She picked her cigarette up from the rim of a plate on the table and sucked the smoke into her lungs. When she spoke, her words came out smoky. Dr. Finch is saving our lives, Augusten. Her eyes looked different. They scared me. The doctor's house was not at all what I had imagined. It was weird, awful, fascinating, and confusing. Please, can we go? I don't want to be here anymore. It's too weird here. I looked up, and there he was. Well, 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 Dr. Finch boomed. How are you doing, young man? Okay. I couldn't tell him that his own filthy house and his own freaky kids were the cause of my distress. Take a seat here, he said, gesturing at a chair. Your mother is in a state of crisis. So your mother isn't safe from your father right now. She needs to be protected. I'm going to take your mother to a motel, and you're going to stay here at my house. I what? I have to stay here? Deirdre, talk to your son. When you're finished, I'll be in the car. My mother leaned forward and whispered, without Dr. Finch, your father will kill us. Dr. Finch is the only person in the world who can save us. I glanced out the window, half expecting to see my father clutching a meat cleaver, and half expecting to see an elf wearing a stocking cap with a bell at the end waving at me. Well, how long do I have to stay here? 1 night? 2? Not long. 2 days, maybe a week. She placed the back of her hand against my cheek. We'll be okay. I'll visit you in my dreams. Did you know I can do that? Do what? I can travel in my dreams. Once, I dreamt I went to Mexico, and when I woke up, there were pesos in my... They looked radioactive. We'll be okay.